Dos, tres, alla sminky pinky. Let's record.
So, welcome back to another episode and a new season of Bodies, Barbells and Bagels, and I am here with my co-host today, Jazzy Jazz Face, Old McLeany Train. Hello.
We need some new nicknames.
People don't understand
Bonjour.
us.
See, we're kind of a big deal now. That's why we say that it's season 2.
We're really not a big deal because we sucked at podcasting for the last 6 months of last year.
Sporadic.
Yeah, we have reflected upon 2018 and realised how awful our podcasting was at the end of the year.
Hey,
Yes?
I wouldn't use the word awful.
Sorry.
That's mean. One thing that you should do this year is less self-bullying.
Okay.
You?
Okay.
Yeah. It was sporadic and needs to be more consistent.
We're keeping them on their toes.
The podcasts were legendary.
But in all seriousness, this whole podcast today is about goal setting, reflection, and moving forward into 2019. So what better way than for us to commit to you guys again with our season 2 podcast, and we're committing to weekly podcasts as well as having more guests on the podcast. I've already lined up 4 guests.
Yeah, you've done pretty decent. I've got one.
Who?
Martin McPhillamy, the
Okay,
sleep
never heard of
expert.
him. Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
So have you got any sleep questions?
Yeah.
Send them in. That's probably actually a good thing we'll do at the start of this episode. We'll tell you what guests we've got coming up so that you guys can email us is the best format, because I get a lot of DMs on Instagram and I have to screenshot them and save them and then we lose them. So email to either Sean, so Sean at McLeanyTrain.com or info@aliceround.com. So we have got Joseph Menzel coming up. He's going to be the next one on the podcast.
From Massive Joe's.
From Massive Joe's.
Getting balls deep, as he says.
And then we have got the 2 IFBB female judges, Summer Bernard and MJ Bisgrove. So we'll be talking everything bikini, figure, women's divisions.
That'd be cool.
And then we have got on after that, probably, not sure the order, but we'll have Robbie Frame on.
Oh, yeah.
Then we're having Polo Barjo on, who's Robbie's coach. So he'll be on for another episode. Who else
cool
have we got
dude.
coming up?
And my dude.
Yes.
Sleep expert.
So we've got a fair few, so we're excited. But yeah, so that is our plans for 2019. If we are not accountable to that, spam us, DM us. Our goal is that we're going to be recording this podcast every Wednesday. So we're going to aim to get it up live on a Friday.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our commitment from here in, obviously, unless we have a guest that can't record on that day. But yeah, we're here. We're ready for you. And we are going to kick ass in 2019.
Let's get it.
So we have been behind the scenes, moving house, working on a new coaching program that's just launched
busy.
for personal trainers. We've been working on a lot and really focused on our goals for 2019. I think that there was a lot of big achievements for us in 2018.
Yeah, it was a good year.
Maybe more so personally.
Yeah.
There was a few business ones, but more
Business
like...
was good. Business was busy.
Yeah, but
Businessy.
more... Like, for me, it was like getting back on stage and like building and buying a house.
Yeah.
And for you, it was probably more like getting your business busy again.
Because I was lazy.
Yeah.
I'm a procrastinator.
Yeah.
And
Not anymore.
No. And I have ADHD. So I tend to do the things that really don't need doing.
Yeah, which really irritates me.
Hyperfocal ADHD. So
And I'll come in and he's just like, I don't know.
doing stupid shit on Instagram.
I'll catch him on Insta story and I'm like, aren't you doing something? But anyway. But you're not going to do that this year,
No,
are
I'm
you?
not. I'm going to control it. I just need more of a focus.
Yeah.
Because it's hyperfocal ADHD. If I do something that I really want to do, then I do it very well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like watch videos of stupid shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't do that anymore.
So we're going to talk about that in SMART goals, because that's probably going to be your R, which is your reward.
Yeah.
So that is what we are going to get into today. So first up, let's get into our tips for him, for her, and then we can go from there. So what is your tip, Shawnee?
My tip is everyone, like all guys say their goal is to get bigger and leaner. Let's just pick.
I think that's everyone in general.
That's everyone's. Yeah. All right. I want to get more muscles, but I don't want to get fat. Don't we all? But I would say the one thing I want to pick up today is people don't give their bodies time to grow. So if you're going to go into I call it a massing phase. I think you call it an improvement phase or stage. But basically, you're trying to add gains, add muscle. People call it a bulk. I don't really like that.
Building phase.
Yeah, building phase. A bulking phase just sounds sloppy. No one wants to be sloppy. So
Bulk sounds dirty.
It does,
like
doesn't it? Yeah.
Meal.
I'm going to get fat,
yeah.
Lee Priest style.
Instead of a free meal.
Yeah, so I call it a massing phase. And basically, they don't give their bodies time to actually gain mass. Like, you hear people, I'm going to go into an 8-week massing phase. It's like, are you fucking serious? Like, months and months and months and months. Years, if not. So that's
how
male
much,
or female,
realistically,
really.
let's talk for a guy. Would he maximum for a natural athlete to put on in 8 weeks?
Oh, fuck all.
Like a kilo at best.
Yeah, and that'll probably be like glycogen stores.
For a female, like 0.2 kilos.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Like, if you said to me, I'm going to be 3 kilos of pure gains heavier this time next year, I would take that. You know, like 3 solid kilos of muscle, that'd be sick. Yeah. So you think about that, you've got to be patient enough to be in a massing phase for a whole year to get 3 kilos. So give your body time and eat some fucking food.
Yeah.
You know, like if your body weight's not going up and you're not getting fat, because you don't want to get fat, add a little bit of food, but be patient. If you add 100 calories every 2 weeks, in a whole year, like that's 2,500 calories you can be up. But some people are only eating 2,500 calories, so you'll finish the year on 5,000 calories. 5,000 calories for a guy, say you're 90 to 100 kilos, that's not a massive amount of calories. Like, you can eat 5,000 calories in 2 meals and 2 shakes. Piece of piss. So, give your body a chance. Don't be afraid of the food, and be patient.
But then at the same time, would you then say, well, what if people are doing these 8-week bulks and they're like, well, I'm just going to get aggressive, so I'm going to eat 10,000 calories every day? That you're saying don't be afraid of the food. So I'm just talking from like someone listening to this and then going crazy.
That's true.
Obviously, I'm talking from devil's advocate. Then what are you saying there?
You want to add the food in slowly. So there's no point in adding a shitload of calories because your body it doesn't work that way.
So let's say for someone like getting on the scales and maybe using the scales as like a measure of that, in terms of like a week by week over 8 weeks, what would be kind of the sort of numbers you're wanting to see on the scales?
Oh, I mean, if we say we can only gain, say, 3 to 5 kilos of decent muscle in a whole year, to break it down in the weeks, it works out about 100 to 200 grams a week maximum, really.
Of muscle.
Gain. So if you say half a kilo...
Plus a bit of glycogen,
I would say
plus a bit of...
I say 250 grams a week. Any more than that?
Yeah, it's lenient. I was going to say that for girls. So, yeah, I would say maximum 500.
Per week?
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want it... For girls, I wouldn't want that consistent. For guys, yes.
It's 25 kilos in a year.
But they're doing this for 8... We were talking about someone doing it for 8 weeks.
Oh, if you go 8 weeks, right, yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you 500 if you're doing it for 8 weeks. I probably wouldn't say do it for 8 weeks, so unless you're going to smash a shitload of steroids, then go for it. 8 weeks, you'll probably do all right.
Yeah.
Take a gram of testosterone and up your calories by 1,000.
Yeah. All right, cool.
What's yours?
Well, I'm just going to follow on from that one with females because I think that girls need to stop worrying about... Okay, it's a hard one to explain. I would say you need to stop worrying about the scales in the sense of them dictating how you look, but then you do need to kind of worry about them because they are actually a good indicator of progress. So I've got a lot of females out there that are like, I hate weighing myself, it gives me anxiety or whatever. Sure, if you're a lifestyle client, I have a lot of my lifestyle clients that I don't make weigh themselves. But if you're a competitor and you're in season or off season, then you are weighing yourself year round because it's a really good tracking method for especially putting on muscle. And I would say for me personally, it's more important for me in the off season than in the in season as a coach.
Accountability.
Also because if I've got girls, like we said, and they're remaining lean, because I find females in particular always want to be leaner post-comp than what guys do. But then they run into problems because when they want to compete 6 months later and they've stayed so lean in their reverse, they haven't built any muscle, and then they're like, oh, fuck, now I want to get on stage and I look exactly the same. So this is the problem I'm having. And like we said, females gain muscle so much slower. So I was chatting to one of my clients the other day, Montana. She came in talking about this, and we had this exact discussion. Like, she's 19, she's young. She did really well in her first run of shows. She took out a few firsts, and the feedback was get leaner and get bigger. And then she wanted to compete in May, so she got off stage in October. And I said to her, you are not going to have time to put on muscle to make the changes. So
Did you have to get aggressive in her prep or not?
yeah, quite
Yeah, I
aggressive
thought
at
so,
the end.
yeah.
Not crazy, but she did get sick at the end as well.
Yeah.
But she's also 19.
Yeah.
I was like, go and enjoy a summer where you're
Yeah.
not dieting. Go and have fun. And then we decided on doing season B, which I would have actually liked for her to take like a year and a half off. But I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. It's compromise between the coach and the client.
She doesn't have to make massive changes. But
No. And then we had that chat this morning, and she's like, I'm so happy that I didn't rush into another prep. She's like, she's really happy because we're also able to do a slower reverse because we have got more time to get to stage. So I said to her, though, yesterday, she has literally put on no weight since comp prep. Her skin
Wow.
folds have gone up 4 mils. That's it. So I said to her, you have to now accept that your weight is now going to go up because we now have to focus on putting on muscle
Yeah.
now that you've got through that first 12 weeks of your reverse diet, which technically you're probably still in a deficit for like the first 6 or 8 weeks. She's up to 1,950 calories a day, and she finished her comp prep on an average of about 1,400 calories.
Yeah.
So she's up 500 a day and has only put on 4 meals overall. That's over 7 sites. So pretty darn good. It proves that reverse dieting works. So my point to females is she has to now accept that her weight's going to go up. With a combination of glycogen, more food, I've added in more training volume for her. She's gone back up to 5 days instead of 4 in the gym. So I've pumped the volume, pumped the calories, and we are doing like an 8-week phase of just seeing how she goes with a bit more volume. I'm not calling that an 8-week bulking phase because we're actually going to keep pushing the calories
phase
after
one.
that. It's just a phase of more volume to see if she breaks or not. So glutes 3 times a week and all of that. So yeah, her weight I would expect to fluctuate between, I think she's 59 kilos now, so anywhere to up to 61 in this kind of 8 weeks. I'd like it to stay within
tall.
that kind of 2 kilo range, and I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, girls, if you are not making gains and you want to make gains and your weight is staying the exact same, then you're probably not eating enough,
Yeah.
and you need to get on with it.
the scales need to go up.
They need to go up, yeah.
Like if you want to add a booty or some shoulders, which means adding muscle, then the scales will go up.
Yeah, and I have it a lot with females where they'll be like, 60 kilos is my scary number.
Yeah, that's the thing,
or
isn't it?
70 kilos is my scary number. Whatever your scary number is, it's like,
Kinda means nothing.
It means nothing when you've put on more muscle than what that scary number meant to you years ago when you were skinnier. So, you know, I look very different at 65 kilos as opposed to what I looked like at 65 kilos when I just got fat for a while post-comp. So it's a different body composition. So yeah, guys, you probably need to pay more attention to the scales not increasing too rapidly because you're going a bit YOLO. And girls, you probably need to let the scales go up a little bit and be a little more chill with it.
Very true.
All right.
Yeah.
So, goal setting.
I like to keep it very simple.
Yep.
I think like we're not going to come up. I don't think we come up with some swanky brand new thing. It might be new to some people, but I think more reiteration than anything.
I think it's coming back to like what works, and you can't really reinvent the wheel for some things in life. It's like saying volume is the driver for muscle growth, and it would be like, this is the same with goal setting. There's certain ways that you set goals and they work for a reason. So you can't really like beat around the bush around that. So yeah, what were you saying? Cut you off.
I think we go back to the age-old acronym of SMART or SMARTER
Cool.
for goal setting.
Yep.
Everyone does have, even you and I had this little debate stroke conversation about how you break down the acronym, you know, what each letter does stand for, but at the end of the day it all kind of comes out in the wash and means the same thing.
Yeah.
So rather than just having some crappy goal where you just say, oh, I want to get massive this year, we want to help you break it down into something quantifiable.
So what I guess you're saying is like the big problem that we see with people not getting results, because at the end of the day, like the main thing that you want while you're coming on this podcast is you either want education to help your clients get results or you want to get better results yourself, yeah?
And why
So-
didn't you get...
That's what I was going to
That
say.
goal, exactly,
Before we even get to goals,
Stole your thunder.
yeah, why did you not achieve that goal last year? I mean, of course, unless it's a completely new goal, then that's cool. But if it's a goal that you are coming back to, it's really important before you start goal setting to reflect. So that is probably my number one tip. A lot of people just rush into the new year and they're like, new year, new me. I'm just going to like ignore 2018. And it's like, well, it probably taught you a lesson. And sometimes people are quick to rush on because they had a shit year.
Yeah.
And they're like, I just want to get into it. And it's like, that's well and good. But that's almost like an attitude of like, if I just hide it, it didn't happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think reflection is the first thing that you need to do. I put up a little task on my Instagram. I had a lot of people message me and say it was really, really helpful. And I got my clients to do it as well. And it's basically going back on 2018 and writing down all of the things that you did really, really well in terms of like habits. So little habits that you were doing every day that helped you reach your goals last year. So that I would say is what you write down in a column called your keep column. So they're going to be the habits that you keep doing into 2019, all the shit that you kicked ass at. There might be 2 things. There might be if you had a shit year, there might be 10 things if you had a really good year.
If it worked, keep doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the next column next to that is going to be your stop column. Okay. So that's going to be all the naughty little bad habits that you did over the year that you know got well and truly in the way of your goals. So what are some of the things you're going to stop this year?
Mine?
Yeah, I wrote down a few of mine.
Yeah, well, procrastination is a huge one for me. And do you know what? It pisses me off as well when I know I'm procrastinating. So I think less fucking around on YouTube, on the YouTubes, and just being, more direct in what I actually want to achieve in the day. So I would say YouTube's going to stop.
We said we'd stop working at night.
Yeah, we want to stop, We want to spread out our check-ins over 3 days instead of 2 days, so we can stop working until midnight on 1 a.m.
and be more efficient
every
during the
night.
day. Yeah. We said we'd stop. We'd put our phones down in the evening and be more present, together
in our relationship.
Yeah.
We've already got, I think, a pretty damn good relationship.
Not terrible,
but it can be a little bit better. Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stupid social media
I have
and
to stop.
phones.
I have to stop leaving Sean's towel that I steal on the bedroom floor.
Yeah, and your damn shoes in my shoe rack. We have I don't know how many square meters that walk-in wardrobe. It's a massive walk-in wardrobe.
It could be bigger.
$2,500 or $3,000 kit out for all shoes and leggings and drawers and whatever. I have
swanky boy.
It's pretty swanky. I have one shelf for my shoes, and she still puts her shoes on my damn shelf.
Yeah.
So please.
I'm going to be tidier this year. That's one of my, yeah.
Take your
I'm
damn
not
shoes
a
off
grub,
my
but
shelf.
I'm a little bit, I have a lot of shit. And
you spread your shit out
I spread
everywhere.
my clothes out everywhere. Okay, so there's some of the things we're going to stop. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. I want your stop list to not just be like health and fitness related.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I have my shit everywhere and I'm messy, I'm also messy in like my work. And
But
I've
it makes
noticed
you inefficient.
I've noticed a reflection. Yeah, I've now got this thing where I need to have like my office clean and everything clean
Yeah.
before I can be really productive.
Yeah.
And same with around the house because we work from home, and when you're walking around all the time and there's crap everywhere, it's not very encouraging work environment because you kind of want to clean that up first.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
I think because you get up and go for a walk and get some movement in your body in the mornings, if your shit's everywhere, you don't know which leggings you want to wear, you don't know what shorts or where they all are.
And
so
then I
you know,
bang around and then I wake you
and then
up.
you wake me up and then I'm a grumpy motherfucker.
I'm pretty good, and I usually
You're
put an
actually pretty
outfit
good, yeah.
out the night before.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's efficiency. You know, if
Yeah.
you know where everything is, you're a lot more efficient.
Yeah, so write down that list of all the things you want to stop doing. It might be simple things like snacking at night or, picking at something and not tracking things, whatever
Watching
it can
too much
be.
TV.
Anything that's getting in the way of your goals, basically. It could be relationship, like we said. You might be spending too much time on Instagram and not enough time, banging your partner, whatever it may be.
That's it, man.
So, all of these things. Okay, so
That's two columns so far. You've got your keep.
Yep.
You've got your stop.
And your start.
Okay,
which
what's
rolls
start?
into our goal setting.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so the goal,
Good segue.
the start really needs to be look at your stop and what things on there are you just going to completely remove from your life, and what things are you actually going to change and create a new positive habit from. So if it's something like spend less time on Instagram, you can just completely stop that by having like, I'm only going to spend an hour on it a day or whatever it is. You don't need to write, start spending 2 hours on Instagram a day. It's like, just spend less time.
Although I do need to do that.
You could if you need to. But So your start is all of the things that you feel will help you reach your goals, the daily habits that you need to put in place. And you may need to do your goals and then come back to this, because the start really does roll in with goals, and it doesn't really matter which way you do it, whatever works better for you. I would say you probably want to stop at this point after your keep and stop, and then go reflect on your goals, and then come back to your start list, because then it's going to kind of go on. So start would be...
Give us an example.
So a simple thing of something to start would be, okay, every single night I'm going to pack my gym clothes and put them in the ensuite, so that when I get up in the morning, I don't have to wake up Sean, and I can be more efficient. I'm not banging around looking for things. There's no excuses.
Nice.
I can get out of bed and literally put my gym clothes on and go for a walk or whatever it may be. So that is a habit that you can start that prevents your stop of procrastination in the morning or whatever. So look at your stops and look at what you want to start. So, Sean, if you were thinking back to one of yours, you've said spend less time on YouTube, but what do you need to start doing in order to stop doing that?
One thing I've already started doing since we've moved into this house, and because we don't have much privacy for the old poor dogs...
Don't tell people that. They'll, come and,
Well, I don't know where we live. Is I used to get up...
Our blinds are going in tomorrow, so...
to back off vultures. Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Is I used to wake up, have a coffee, and just kind of dawdle a lot in the morning. So
I'm not a modelling dawdler.
Yeah, what I do now is I tend to wake up, have my coffee with the puppies, and then I take them straight out for a shit and a walk. And I find that because it's only 15 to 20 minutes maximum, literally walk up the road to the park, they piss and shit, we come back, and I feel way more efficient and awake already.
Yeah, because you moved your body.
Yeah,
and, you've got
and I think the sunlight, exactly. And I'm already feeling better. I don't need a second coffee, and I get straight into work.
Yeah, and that's why I go and exercise in the morning.
Or clean the house.
Yeah, because I always find I'm way more efficient with work when I've done something first. And that's it. Even if it's a stretch or a walk, or it doesn't have to be something massive.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm going to keep is my morning stretches. I stretch when I have my coffee with the dogs.
Well, then I'll hold you accountable to that.
Nice, good.
Because I have not seen you stretch once since we've been here.
I just sit there in the mornings in my pigeon position whilst I have my coffee.
Oh, okay,
Like
lovely.
Stretch out my glutes and stretch out my hip flexors. And I work on my thoracic extension every morning. That's why I haven't hurt my back all year.
Lovely.
So that's a keeper. That's a keeper. Nice. A smoke and a pancake.
Okay, so that's a keeper?
That is a keeper.
So you had a start and a keeper in there, okay? So keep the stretching in. So that is a good one for you. That would be in your keep column.
Yeah, it really worked.
So good things in your keep column, so your keep column would be things like you were consistently drinking 4 litres of water a day, or you were eating 3 serves of green vegetables a day, you were going to the gym 4 days a week. That's all the shit that you're going to keep. So your start is going to be the things that, like we've said, that you're missing out on doing. So really, really good ones. So write down all of these, and they have to have meaning. You can't just write something, and this is the problem with goals, which we'll get into, is that people often write goals and they don't have a meaning behind them. There needs to be a why. So why do you want to start doing that? Do you want to just do it because you saw someone on Instagram do it and they've got a nice body? No, you need to start it because it has meaning behind it. And it doesn't matter if it means nothing to anyone else. So for me, my simple one that I want to start doing, that me and Sean have already implemented, is switching off, come 8 o'clock at night and spending more time with Sean, and just more, not even just with him, because I get sick of him, but
I get sick of me too.
Yeah, but just more off time, total off time.
Yeah.
So in our industry,
we had the whole of Christmas Day off. I know we had about an hour where we did a bit of work.
No, I worked twice on Christmas Day.
Okay, that was a lie then. Ignore that.
Yeah, no. And that's what everyone's been saying to us. They're like, oh, did you have a lovely holiday break? No, we worked the whole way through. So next year, we made a decision. We will take a proper, scheduled week off work, pause all our clients' payments, freeze everything for a week so that we can actually have it off. And these are, again, all things that we've reflected on and went, you know what? It wasn't enjoyable. No. Grinding so much. Christmas, New Year's.
It was a means to an end, but it wasn't a very nice Christmas.
No, because all your other friends and family are off work, and then they want to hang out with you, and you're like, I've actually got to do work.
Or I've got to dig a pit for NBN.
What I found was happening was I'd go hang out with people because I was trying to be social, and that's why everyone would see me post on Instagram, I'm at the beach. And they're like, she's having a nice holiday. But then they wouldn't see me up working till 2 a.m. because I'd spent the time that day and then gotten behind on everything, which is
'Cause you're
saying I
going
don't
fucked
want to
up.
continue this year.
No.
But I'm a little bit of a people pleaser sometimes.
Yeah,
Not
you
just
are,
that,
actually.
but I just want to spend some time
Spread
with
yourself
people.
too thin sometimes.
Yeah, but anyway, new things to work on.
Yeah.
So even as coaches, like we have so many things like reflecting back that we want to work on,
Yeah.
even within our business. Like for example, for me this year, the business grew a lot and evolved in a fantastic way. We've had so many new clients come on board and all clients staying on board. So that means our numbers have increased. I'm working with more clients one-on-one every week. And I found that some of my systems weren't being as efficient in getting back to clients as fast as what I would
same.
like. All of those things. And we don't enjoy being those coaches. We
No, I
don't
hate
just
it.
ignore things.
It actually annoys us.
It annoys
And we'll
us,
say to
yeah.
each other, like right before we go to bed, it's like, fuck, I still haven't got back to these people.
Yeah.
You know, because we need the systems.
Yeah, the system. So, and as your business grows and evolves, you have to put those systems in place because when you're quieter, you don't have to worry about it. And then things pick up and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that doesn't work having every single client check in on a Monday when you want to allocate a good 30 to 45 minutes per client.
You've got 40
and
clients.
you've got 40 clients. So that doesn't work. Or you end up sending rush check-ins back and then you miss things, which is, you know, what can sometimes happen. And I don't like that as a coach. I want to be, one of my 2019 goals is to be recognised as one of the best female coaches in Australia. And to
Damn
do
straight.
that, then I need to have these systems in place.
Yeah.
So that's been my promise to my clients, to improve those things, a few of those things that were slipping a little bit at the end of the year, and to step my game up as a coach. And I asked my clients to all give feedback at the end of the year. And then I took that feedback on board. There was some really awesome, well, 95% of it was positive, which was fantastic. I was actually thinking there was going to be some worse stuff in there.
Who are the 5%?
Oh, it wasn't like 5%
Name and
direct.
shame.
They all put like a little bit
Name
at the bottom.
and
I asked
shame.
them to. But most of it was just, I can't even remember actually, but yeah, most of it was just little things like that. Like there may have been a question missed here or there or whatever it was. So nothing major, but I don't like that and I want to improve on that. So that's definitely a big one for me. So yes, like we said, going back to that because we've gone off topic now, but start, stop and keep. Okay, so for 2019, start with that. Now that you've done your somewhat reflection, I would also like you to write down next to that your biggest wins for 2019. Okay, I don't want you to focus on the losses, but I want you to focus on the wins. Because I think a lot of the time when people reflect, they think about all this shit stuff. They're like, oh,
True.
that happened and that happened and that happened.
Because people have this tendency to be quite negative.
Yeah, it's easier to be negative than positive
Yeah.
sometimes. So, change that attitude and be like, what were some of your big wins? And actually celebrate them because it's such an Australian culture to like not show off and not celebrate
Yeah.
your wins. Like,
Because the tall poppy syndrome.
yeah, but I love it when I see other people posting over the New Year period.
yeah.
And I saw them because you know what it was? It was motivating for me for the next year. Because I was like, oh my God, look how much that person's achieving. Like, fuck yeah. Like, rather than being like, oh my God, look how much that person's achieving. What a show off. Like, no one thinks, well, you shouldn't think like that unless you're a very negative person.
Don't think like that.
But
Put it in your stop column.
yeah, it makes me, that's another one. Stop being judgmental
Yeah.
or stop being negative.
We
Yeah.
actually
We
put that in last year.
Yeah.
Was, well, not negative, but it's more when you're around negative people, you become negative yourself. So
Yeah.
we kind of pulled ourselves away from those people, and
Yeah.
geez, it worked.
Yeah.
We had a good
Yeah,
positive
I've
year.
still got a few I need to brush off a little bit, but yeah, and that's one of my goals for this year on my start is make more positive connections with like-minded people and people that I want to be around.
Nice.
Because both of us don't really ever get out of our comfort zones when it comes to like meeting new people. We're pretty like,
Nah.
yeah, we need to do more of that.
Make more friends.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to hang with us.
Friends. Football friends.
And it's because my constant go-to was I'm too busy. And
Yeah.
that is why I've now got more scheduled off time.
Yeah.
Be more productive during the day so that now we've both scheduled to have Sundays completely off work.
Have we?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
I did tell you that the other day.
That's news to me, but it sounds great.
I love how we're on the same page.
But yeah, that sounds good. We actually had that before, but then we slowly started creeping check-ins in on a Sunday, and then comps come around, and you're like, I didn't do that check-in, so blah, blah, blah.
Well, no, I said to you the other day, because Sean works
remember.
pretty much all day in the gym on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And then I was doing comp check-ins on a Sunday. So he was like, well, I'll just work because you're working, but you didn't really need to be working.
No.
So we were like, well, why don't I do my comp check-in Saturday when you're at work?
Yeah.
And then, because Saturday was kind of like a day for me where I'd have a few posing clients in the morning, I'd kind of fluff about. It wasn't like a really structured day. So I was like, why not just make it a work day and then have Sunday totally off? So we're doing all these things also as a couple. Sean says he doesn't remember, but he does.
I do.
But
Sometimes I need a minute
yeah.
to just, okay. Yeah.
And yeah, you do. You forget things very easily, or you go off on a tangent. But I think it's important if you're in a relationship to make sure that also like your goals and your things that you're starting doing, you've told your partner about, because then they can support you and hold you accountable to it as well, or include them. Yeah.
Especially if you're in the fitness industry and your partner isn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're both in the fitness industry like we are, we're quite lucky because we can coincide our schedules, and we kind of have the similar goals. You know?
Yeah, but yes and no, because I also think if one of us wasn't in the fitness industry, we would be much stricter with working like a 9 to 5.
In theory.
Because like Jess, for example, who works for me, like her husband works finishes at 4 o'clock, and she's pretty strict with like being done with work by 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So because he said to her, you need to, then that's your time.
Crack that whip.
Whereas we're both like, oh, you're going to work tonight? Oh, okay, well, I'll work tonight.
Yeah, I'm terrible with that.
So that's our thing for next year. So maybe, like we said, we might do a relationships podcast if everyone's keen on that.
Yeah.
We're not perfect, but we're pretty.
I think we're 99%, yeah. Personally.
Okay, so...
Should we break down the old acronym?
Yeah. Okay, so we've done... Okay, so you're setting your keep, stop, start. Then you're reflecting on your big wins for the year and really, like, internalizing that and being like, if something felt good, do more of that next year, and I almost roll that into your goals again as well.
What's a big win for you this year? We've got a few. We're sat in one at the moment, I think.
Oh, yeah, we built a house.
Built a house.
That was a big one. I had, to be fair, without making Sean sound like... Who did most of the work?
Oh, you did. Like, I'm not. I'm not one of those guys that is afraid to say that. You basically paid for the house and did all the paperwork
and decorated
it. Yeah.
And dealt with the.
I did more of the moving and the labouring stuff. The stuff that makes you feel like a man.
Yeah.
Putting up a picture hook.
But I'm a smart lady and it's all in my name, so
Yeah,
if something happens, yeah. No, it has been... I definitely had to focus on that this year. It was a lot more time-consuming than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, mountains of paperwork sometimes.
Mountains of paperwork, just the little fiddly things. But I don't regret it, and I would suggest building a house to anyone. I think it was pretty good experience besides something we've been battling for the last few weeks, but we're getting there. Another big win would have been, competing. But I say that with a little bit of... because I didn't get into the shape that I would have liked and the package I would have liked to put on stage, but I'm still proud of myself for getting up there.
You just didn't,
And like we said, the house was more time consuming than what we thought, which did have an impact on prep.
House,
and I don't want to be
coaching,
full of
business.
excuses,
No, exactly.
and I'm not that person, but, it just wasn't... I mean, prep's never going to be the right time, but at the same time, you shouldn't be prepping if you've got a million other things going on.
Yep.
And that was kind of what happened. In all honesty, the house had a few extra expenses that we didn't expect. That's probably the biggest advice I could give to you if you're going to build. And then that meant I couldn't really pull back on work, which I wanted to when I was prepping. So it kind of, I was under a bit of pressure and stress, which didn't also help prep, because then I was thinking about the money and the financial side of things, and prep's expensive as well. So a lot of lessons. And I know now that if I ever prep again, I need to be in a very different position mentally and physically for that. And but I think a big win for me was realizing that, a big win for me, a massive one that you wouldn't think of, is that I didn't binge eat post-show.
Very true. Your weight stayed the same.
First time ever I haven't had a binge episode after a show. I've always had at least one. It might be like a few weeks later or a few days later, but I haven't had one and it's been like 7 or 8 weeks. Like, I haven't been perfect with my reverse, but I haven't binged. And there's a very big difference between overeating and binge eating. And sure, I've overeaten here and there, Christmas, New Year's, whatever. But I haven't sat in a dark corner and binged and like hid it from Sean, or like that's sort of behavior that I'm embarrassed about with food would be what I'd class as a binge, which is what I used to do. So that's a big win.
Nice win.
Oh God, I don't really probably want to bother reflecting on all of these.
That's enough wins for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can't have too many wins. Jeez. No, you've done well.
Oh, we ran a lot of workshops and I was really proud of them.
You did some good mind shop.
Yeah, I got to connect with a lot of amazing women, especially the last one that we ran in Perth. I really loved that one. That was probably my favourite, and also the second booty workshop we did in Perth. I really had a great time connecting with those women.
Was it this year we flew to Sydney as well?
We flew to Sydney
for a Perth
that one was awesome.
Booty workshop.
We had girls come from Tassie, like that was really sick. So yeah, a lot of wins. What about you?
Nice. Yeah, I think nothing as monumental as that, but I mean, building a house obviously was kind of cool for me, even though I had
downplay your accolades.
Even though I had thank you, had a small part in that.
You've been nice to yourself.
I think a huge win for me, considering I have such a broken body, was, like I said before, is doing the whole year without getting any severe injuries. I mean, I had pneumonia. But that was not an injury.
Like you were sick all year.
I was sick a lot this year, yeah. So I'm going to put that in my stop. I'm going to put that in my last year.
Stop getting sick.
I'm going to put that in my stop pile, my stop column. You stop getting so bloody sick.
I think a good win for you is that you started Instagram.
I did, yeah.
And a co-win for us is that we started our podcast.
Yeah, yeah, cool, nice.
Yeah,
Season 1,
yeah,
many moons ago. So yeah, a couple of wins there.
Yep.
So I want to, in this coming year, start getting some more monumental wins.
Yeah.
Get up there. Don't know what they are, but we'll soon find out. You'll
coaching
find that out
program.
in season 3 of Bodies, Barbells and Bagels.
So, wins. Reflect on them. And don't ever feel like a win has to be some big, massive thing. Don't set any expectations around it. Your wins can be as small as going to the gym consistently. For me, it was tracking macros again. All those sort of things. So be kind to yourself. Don't downplay it like what Shawnee was doing it.
I'm just modest.
You're definitely not. Okay, so goal setting.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know we kind of said this is the main bulk of it, but really the stuff before it is really important.
That makes more sense.
Okay, so setting SMART goals is important, or you can call them SMART-er goals, which is what we're going to delve into. We're going to talk about what the E and R is. Okay, so the reason that you set SMART goals is that so many clients fail and people fail, and I would say my clients that either stop coaching or just drop off or disappear or ghost me as a client are the ones that I will email them and be like, what are your goals for this month? What are your goals? What are your goals? And I will get nothing back, or I'll get back, and I just want to, tone up. And it's like, or I just want to, get a bit stronger. They're
kind of nothing.
They're wishy-washy goals. Yeah. You're not committing to anything. So if you're not committed to something, how are you going to remain motivated? And this is a big part of results. So setting goals, as much as we, especially me, I bang on about it all the time with clients.
Yeah, this is your area of... this is your area where you're very, very good at.
Well, I think females are worse at goal setting than males, actually, to be honest.
Because we're already quite...
A bit more quantitative.
Exactly. Mathematical and logical and
I also feel like girls don't get to the point. So girls will say to me, I want to be fitter this year. And they'll say, what does fitter mean? And then all of a sudden they say, I want to lose 10 kilos. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't commute fitter with losing weight. I would commute fitter with being healthier, stronger, can run, can do better cardiovascular exercise. Yeah. So don't be scared to say what the fuck you want, which I think is the problem for females. Females are so scared to just get out there and say, I want to be fucking sexy and look good in a bikini, and in order to do that, I need to lose 5 to 10 kilos. Yeah. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So your goal isn't going to be look hot in a bikini. Well, it is, but it has to be measurable. So then we've got to kind of work back through our SMART goals.
Who doesn't want to look hot in a bikini?
Exactly. You look nice in my bikinis.
I do look nice. That pink one.
Yeah. I don't think that'd even get up over your calf.
No.
But yeah, I get specific.
That's the S in smarter.
Yeah, and really don't be scared to put a big goal out there, because then you can always reflect on your goals and come back to it. Okay, so, sorry I went off on a tangent again. But,
no, that was good. I love a tangent.
Okay, so you start off. So what is the S for?
Specific.
Cool.
Exactly that.
So what is the problem? What do people normally do?
Well, like you said, it's just they don't just get to the point.
Yeah.
So write it down. Like,
and it shouldn't take like a fucking paragraph.
No.
Like, that's what I also get. I get these huge long thing. Write out your goals separately.
Yeah.
They should deserve a line each.
Yeah.
Not like these are my goals all meshed together. It's like so what would be a specific goal? Super specific.
Super specific. Okay, we're going to go through the whole thing. Specifically, I want to get back to squatting.
Doesn't have to be you, but just like a general. Yeah.
I want to get back to squatting 200 kilos in the next 3 months.
Oh, okay. Cool. Easy.
So that's pretty specific and straight to the point. You
Yeah.
can't really get around it. As opposed to, I want to get really good at squatting heavy.
Yeah. A big goal I'll get is I want to be injury free.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is a really good goal, but how are we going to be able to, quantify that?
Yeah. Be more specific.
Yeah. So get more
What
specific
injury,
with it.
where, yeah.
Yeah, or it might be like, I want to efficiently reverse diet as a goal. Great goal, but maybe that can then be specific in the sense of, during my reverse diet, I am going to stay under 5 kilos of stage weight. Great goal, okay? It's specific. You can then measure that. Okay, so specificity, second one, exactly what we just said. Measurable,
yeah.
So you have to be able
Quantifiable.
to measure it.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. Measure it with a measuring tape or with some form of whatever.
Has to have I find it's also time. Yeah, I mean another one's time frame, but yeah, give it numbers. Exactly that.
The hardest one is mindset goals because a lot of my clients will write mindset goals and they are a little harder to measure.
Yeah.
So what I will tend to do more is get them to do a bit of a reflection within like say a month and write down a few answers to things and see if they've improved on that. So I've got a client who said her goal this year was to be less negative and be more positive. And I was like, okay, great. I've given her some tasks to do. We've put the action steps in place. So our measurable thing that we're going to do is I think it was 4 weeks we set the goals at, is she's going to write down 10 positive comments about herself and 10 positive things going on in her life. And we're going to see how long that takes her to do. Because she did it recently and it took her like hours. Like she found it really hard to find positive things to say about herself.
Oh, wow.
So I know it sounds different, but that's a good way of measuring it. It's like, okay, we'll do that again. And if you're more positive, you'll be able to just smash through that list. So yeah, anything can be measurable. You've just got to be a little more creative when it's mindset related things. Cool. A simple one, if you have a coach, could be just even having a coaching call with them at the end of that month and they can ask you some questions and see where your mindset's at.
Yeah.
And they can then say, okay, yes or no, you've improved. Okay, what's after that? Attainable,
achievable, whichever one you want to say.
Yep.
So it has to be, like something that you can actually.
Yeah, not lose 10 kilos in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Which you could do.
You're going to chop your legs off.
Very unhealthy,
Yeah.
yeah. So don't be a knob about it.
Yeah, so achievable goals, but the other thing with achievable that a lot of people don't talk about is make sure that your goals align with each other within the achievability. So if you're writing one goal that's like, I want to stay super shredded, and then your other goal is, but I want to put on 5 kilos of muscle,
That's a good one.
then they're not achievable together. So they need to be co-achievable as well as individually
Or
achievable.
A could then stand for aligned.
Aligned is another one I like, yeah. Achievable
Aligned and
aligned.
achievable.
Exactly.
Smarter with 2 A's.
Perfect.
Smarter.
Exactly. So that's pretty straightforward. They need to be
Yeah.
achievable. If you're not sure if they're achievable, chat to a coach, chat to someone, bounce the ideas around. Or worst case scenario, you try it, reflect in 30 days, and if you're way off the deep end, reset the goal.
Yeah.
So if you're like, let's say it's a financial goal. Okay, I want to save $10,000 in 30 days. Cool. And then by the end of that 30 days, you get $5,000. And you're like, oh my God, I failed. And it's like, no, you've still saved $5,000 than what you didn't last year.
Yeah.
So maybe you're just setting the bar a little high, or you need to have a look at your financial outgoings and go, okay, I can cut some off here. Let's aim for 7. You know what I mean? So
That comes to me the last R, which that's my
yeah,
reevaluate.
you
or
save that.
yeah.
Save it.
Save it. Yeah.
Okay. So that is SMAR.
So the first R, like I tend to say, is it relevant?
I say realistic, which is
Realistic,
pretty much the same
yeah.
as attainable.
Yeah, that's why I say it's relevant more than anything. Because realistic and attainable, kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I like
relevant. Is it something that actually is meaningful to you?
Yeah, Yeah. Is there a why behind it?
So yeah, with relevance is what is your why?
Because if you're not passionate enough about it and it's not relevant enough to you in your life, you won't do it either.
No.
So that is why clients are always asking me to set their goals for them. Now, as a coach, I'm not being lazy when I say no, you
shouldn't
do
have
it.
to.
Because your goal has to mean more to you than what it means to me.
Yeah.
So if you're saying, I can help you with them and I can tell you if it's realistic or attainable or, the time period
tease
is
it out
correct.
of you.
But the actual core goal needs to come from you. If you
Yeah.
came up to me as a client and said, Alice, I want to deadlift 100 kilos. Is that realistic? And I could be like, yes, but not in the time frame you've set out.
Currently deadlift 20.
Yeah, and you've said you want to do it in 6 months. We'll say, okay, let's aim for 12,
Yeah.
So that's the big thing, is make sure that it actually means something to you. So if you just write down a wishy-washy goal, like I want to be fit, then how is that going to really mean something to you
Yeah.
and even be measurable? So
It's like these 30-day challenges of like a squat every day sort of thing. It's like, okay, but is there any relevance to that? Not really. I'm sure you could then progress that further to be a bigger relevance.
yeah, I just think that's stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One squat on Monday, and then 2 squats on Tuesday.
Yeah, and they're like not even nice.
No. So there's SMAR. So that's that one. And T,
Time bound.
time bound,
Probably
timeable.
a really important one.
Yeah.
Now, with time-bound goals, I think it's important to have like an end date, but then also if it's a really big goal, I think it's good to have assessment dates. So you can sometimes break the goal down into periods. So let's say, for example, your goal for 2019 is to lose 20 kilos. Now, what you could then do is break that down into, I want to lose 5 kilos every quarter. So every, 3 months. So you're going to lose 5 kilos. So that is a shorter goal and more time bound still, but also more specific. So if it's a really big goal, aim to break it down with the time bound points so that you can reflect. So then rather than getting to the end of the year and being like, oh, well, I didn't get anywhere near my goal, you're not really having those assessment points along the way, which are really, really important. Okay, so then E for smarter.
Which comes down to kind of evaluate.
Yeah.
Really. Evaluate and assess how it went. And then you can say the R can be reassess your goals or...
Reward.
Or I like reward, exactly.
Let's
That's
go
what
back to the E though.
So E to evaluate. So, like you said previously, when you were talking about, okay, I want to save $10,000 in X amount of time, and you didn't, okay, well, reevaluate that goal, or evaluate that goal, and reset them for something a bit more realistic.
Yeah, like you might have either set your goals way too easy
Yeah.
and you've achieved them straight off the bat, or way too hard and then you're being hard on yourself instead of just going, okay, I learned a lesson from that. I was overachieving and I didn't quite get there and it's made me feel a bit crappy, so I want to actually tick my goals off. So let's change the game plan. So I would suggest reflecting every single week as well as every 30 days as a bigger reflection.
It's kind of why it's good to pop it on your fridge,
Yeah.
your goals. If it's a big, huge goal,
You should be looking at it every day.
look at it every day, every other day, every
Your
week
biggest
minimum.
overreaching goals should be visible to you every single day, which I've written mine down in a little notebook, but I need to probably have them somewhere a little bit bigger.
That's like when we were building the house, or even before that, and we were thinking about it, you had your vision board.
And my Pinterest.
And your Pinterest and all that sort of stuff.
Hey, you know
and
what
it
else
was-
I've got? You know what I've got in my 2019
Okay, here
goal
we go.
board? I've got my wedding rings
Oh, yeah.
planned out. I got a little baby. I do vision boards, so I'm a big vision boarder. And that's another nice thing where you're visually seeing your goals every day and you don't have to have it like written, but it's just like a quick like glance at something. So yeah, I did that with like our house. I've got another big goal on there that I won't tell you guys about that Shawnee knows about for us this year, that we've got on there. So I've got a little picture of that. And all those different things. There's not a wedding on there this year, but there is a ring. So yeah, put it visually in front of you, but then also reflect on it every single day and every single week. I would
Takes
say
30 seconds.
Yeah, the more frequently you reflect, the better results you'll get.
Yeah.
The less frequently you come back to the goals, the more you've forgotten about them and
Yeah.
they're not
Oh,
on
yeah.
your priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely I see that with the people or clients that are always yo-yoing on these like 8-week challenges, 6-week challenges, 10-week challenges, and then they're jumping back on another one because they can't stay motivated in between. And it's probably because they either haven't set a goal at the end of it, or they're not reflecting on their goals when they've got no accountability. So if they're not in a challenge or working with a coach at the time, they're like feeling really, really lost.
Yeah.
Even if you are working with a coach and say you're a lifestyle client, you're not a competitor, and you're feeling a little lost maybe along the way, maybe you've ticked off a lot of your goals, then, have a chat to your coach and be like, hey, can we chat together about my goals? Because I'm not feeling super motivated at the moment.
It's kind of our job.
Yeah.
Well, we do that anyway. So.
Yeah. But sometimes clients don't tell you.
No.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm all good. And then you're like, so what are we focusing on? They're like, oh, I feel good. Don't worry about it. And you're like, come on, let's set a goal.
Give it to me.
Yeah, so reflection. Reflection on your goals every single week, every single month.
Yeah, evaluate.
So the next one is reward, which I really like, this one.
Yeah.
Now, the big one, why we say reward, is that your goals have to have meaning, which again comes back to the why. So why do you want to, let's say, for example, you're competing and competition is your goal. Why do you want to compete? And then what can be a reward for competing? Because when you compete, I want you to think about all the things you probably have to sacrifice for that goal. So when you compete, you miss out on, say, a lot of social events. You probably don't go on holiday as much.
That's what I was saying.
You probably don't get dressed up as much as a female. You're usually in your gym clothes all the time. So a reward for the end of a contest prep might be booking a holiday, booking a really nice hotel for a night.
Do you know what you didn't say, which was cool? I was going to say this, is you didn't say food.
No.
You are not a dog.
Yeah.
Don't reward yourself for food.
Yeah.
So when it comes to end of contest prep and people, all they can
Still
think
have
about
your little bits
is
and
food.
pieces,
It's
but
like,
you
do
need
you
to
know
have
what?
another.
Try and have a different goal.
Yeah.
Try and have a different reward. And
Yeah.
a holiday or a shopping spree for clothes and really rewarding yourself that way, so much better than a fucking food binge.
Yeah, exactly. Like we stayed an extra few days in London at the end of my comp, and that was kind of our last little reward, and that was enjoyable.
See my fam.
We still ate food, but it was just like not solely focused on food. So something that I get a lot of my weight loss lifestyle clients to do is have a goal of like buying themselves something really nice at the end of a fat loss phase. Maybe a dress or some gym clothes that they haven't felt confident in before. That's a really, really good one. Or I've got actually one of my clients who's single and she doesn't want to go on a date until she's lost like 10 kilos. And I've said to her that at the end of when we get to this fat loss goal, she has to go on Tinder and on Bumble and all the dating apps. But then she gets to go buy herself a really nice outfit for her date. So even though I think she's beautiful and she could date as is, she's obviously... Yeah, she shouldn't wait. But, you know, at least she's got that outfit goal. So hopefully we'll get her on there earlier. But yeah, have a reward for yourself.
You have a big reward, don't you? That you're little...
Oh, yeah, my real bougie reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have got my eyes on a Gucci all YSL bag.
Because you've never had anything like that.
Look, I have a lot of clothes, but I don't buy high-end designer things, and I have a lot of probably junk stuff as well. I got rid of a lot and gave a lot to the Good Sammys when we moved. But I was kind of like, I want to buy quality items over quantity now. And I just think it's ridiculous spending like $1,000 or $2,000 on a bag. Like, I honestly think it's ridiculous, especially when we're building a house and you have so many other goals in life. We're talking about having children, all those things. But at the same time, I work hard, and if I want to have one designer item in my wardrobe, I also don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as I've ticked off all my other saving and financial goals for 2019. So I've got some goals set out, and then once I save and I don't buy any more Gymshark sets or, you know, I think about all the little like items of, if you think back this way, which is a good one when it comes to money. I think about, let's say I placed 5 Gymshark orders last year and each order was, say, $150. Okay, how much is that? $800?
I don't know, bro. $750.
$750. Okay, so the Gucci bag that I was looking at was $1,300.
Yeah.
So
You're halfway there.
So if I didn't buy those 5 Gymshark outfits plus all the other gym gear I bought, I could have probably bought 2 bags or 3 bags by now. So my goal is save more money, buy higher quality items, less of them, and just don't buy things because they're cheap and crap, but better off saving for things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have to buy things that are important first, so things for our house, things for our coaching business. So we're launching a program at the moment, and whenever you launch a program, it costs money. You're paying filmers, you're paying videographers for editing, you're also paying platforms to set up. It's not just free to launch an online program and do it well.
Not properly.
And my business goals come first, and I know that then those business goals are going to turn into revenue, which is going to allow me to save for my bag. So,
but that's the thing, is your goals are huge.
yeah.
So you need a huge reward.
Yeah.
And by damn it, you'll deserve it.
Thanks.
But you're buying it yourself.
Yeah, I was waiting for it for Christmas and it didn't come.
No.
So yeah, that's the last one. Reward. They don't always have to be like purchases. They could be experiences. They could be simple things like booking yourself in for a massage or whatever it may be. I know that costs money too, but they don't have to be anything like that. It could even be a reward, and this is one that I do with work, which sounds really retarded if you're someone that, you know, works a 9 to 5 and doesn't really get the entrepreneurial grind. But sometimes I reward myself with a day off.
Yeah. Or trashy TV.
Yeah, an episode
Done all my
of
work
Real
today,
Housewives.
so my reward is an episode of Housewives.
Exactly. Vanderpump Rules is my favourite.
Again, it's not food.
No, it's not food.
Although I do reward myself for food sometimes.
Yeah, like if I've gotten through all my work for the day and I feel like I've had a productive day, then that can be a reward, but I'm not allowed to do that until I've achieved the thing. So yeah, set yourself goals, rewards, targets. I think that's really, really important. And then once you reach that goal, having that reward allows you to almost celebrate it a little bit as well. Because like we said, people forget to celebrate their wins, and then, or they downplay their wins. So have those rewards. What are some rewards that you're going to do for yourself this year?
Your
gaming station that I shut down.
Yeah, that was horrific. No, rewards. I would like to get back into playing the guitar again. Your brother loaned me his guitar, so I want to buy a little mini guitar amp at some point, so I can actually play that properly.
And serenade me.
And serenade her, because I'm terrible on the guitar at the moment. I want to get my little retro gaming station. I'm not a huge gamer, but I think it looks cool more than anything. Some of the old Master System.
As long as we get Donkey Kong, I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we're going to get the NES, we're going to get the SNES, we're going to get the
What's the 64? That's
N64. Yeah. Then we can have GoldenEye and Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're my little rewards. Would be nice to go on holiday at some point this year.
At least just take like a week off.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is...
if we can get on top of everything.
This time next year,
place,
our reward is going to be
even
not
a
working.
Mid-year mini break would be nice as well. So, yeah, that's the plan.
Lots of rewards.
Yeah.
And I also think a reward every day is if I get my work done, I don't need to work at night.
I thought you were going to say, coming home to your beautiful face.
I'd almost finished. And I can spend time with my lady, you know?
Exactly.
That's my reward.
Yeah, get through your work so you can spend time with your friends or family.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool reward for people that do work for themselves, is that actual reward of downtime.
Yeah.
Which sounds so crazy, but yeah, it's a simple reward. So I think that pretty much like wraps up everything for this podcast. It was meant to be a quick one.
We can say half an hour, but an hour. But
yeah. And so much for us not working late.
Come on.
But, you know.
Yeah, we shouldn't really... We say all of this, but it's 11 o'clock at night whilst we're recording this podcast.
But I don't feel like this is really work when we get to hang out, so we enjoy this. So I know we waffled on a little bit today, but I hope you guys enjoyed another episode back. And like we've said, next up we will have Joe Menzel up. Probably won't be released till the week after, so you'll probably get one more with us next week. And then his one will be recorded next week, so it'll be uploaded the following week.
Tune in for that. So yeah, send us through some questions if you have any for him.
Yeah, and
because he's a very smart dude.
Very smart.
And he's charismatic. He's got his sock biz, but he's also a business badass.
We're going to be talking to him more so about the business side of things and being an IFBB pro. So that's the main two. We don't want to focus, like, we're not going to be talking about supplements at all. Like, literally
don't ask
all.
us questions about creatine.
No. He gets enough of that. So, yeah, that's what we've got coming up in terms of topics for us. If you guys have any, please let us know. I definitely want to do one up and coming on female hormones, menstrual cycle, and anabolics in the fitness industry for females.
Damn!
I'm trying to get Victoria on. I've emailed her, so I'm waiting to hear back.
Nice.
So maybe go and like slide in her DMs, Victoria Felkner. So yeah, get in there and be like, get on Alice's
Get
podcast.
on the BBB.
Because I want someone really experienced for this area. I know a fair bit, but I want someone that it literally is like one of the best in the world in this department, because it is a very debatable department and everyone seems to think they're an expert in it. I don't claim to be an expert in it. I know a fair bit about it, but I'm still learning and evolving. And yeah, if you guys want us to do a relationship podcast, maybe some of our top tips for a healthy, evolving, growing, flourishing relationship.
Very cute.
That'd be cute. So we're like almost, what,
4 years.
4 years deep.
Yep.
Still in the honeymoon phase.
Oh, apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know when the honeymoon phase is apparently supposed to end.
Yeah, apparently.
But it's every day.
Every day's a dream. So yeah, if you guys want us to do one on that, and yeah, just let us know of any other podcasts. But biggest good luck in 2019. And smash out some goals. We'd love to see you tag us on Instagram once you've done your little goal setting and your sheets and everything like that, so we can see what you're up to. We really love engaging with you guys. If you love the podcast, please don't forget to rate it 5 stars on iTunes, and leave a review below. Some kind words and comments would be absolutely fantastic. You know, we're giving you an hour of our time for absolute nothing. We don't want anything out of this but, you know, love and support and feedback. So
don't mind constructive feedback. So, you know, if you think of anything positive that we can do better or improve upon or whatever, then let us know.
Yeah, but if you tell us to, you know, spend more money on expensive microphones and setups, then, you know.
They fished your bum on.
We're getting there.
Bad way.
That's our goal for this year. Make it more professional.
Yeah.
So we've just said fist your bum hole in the first episode.
Who cares? You say that like it's a bad thing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm in for a treat tonight.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. I'm going to go to sleep and run away from McLeany.
I've got big hands as well.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning back in and trusting in us in delivering you the podcast goods for 2019. We are back, baby.
Season 2.
Better than ever. See you guys.
Ciao.